Hi, my name's Dave, and today we're going to be going over the installation of the Midwest Industries two-piece extended M-LOK handguard for your AR line of rifles. What's great about this handguard is it provides a modern M-LOK interface with a top Picatinny rail on rifles that would otherwise have plastic handguards and a front sight post present. The rail comes in a variety of lengths to accommodate different lengths gas systems such as carbine or mid-length. Extended models are also available that have a front sight post pocket, allowing the rail to extend past the front sight post, allowing for a longer handguard and additional accessory mounting options. Installation is pretty straightforward and only requires basic shop tools. However, if any part of the installation process doesn't make sense to you, or you don't feel comfortable performing the installation, don't hesitate to seek the assistance of a qualified gunsmith or armorer to assist you. Now, the method that we're going to be showing you today will not require removing the front sight base, as this is difficult for a lot of people. The base is secured with taper pins and removal can be difficult. So we're going to show you a method using a rotary tool that you'll be cutting the delta ring. However, I do want to caution you that anytime we're using cutting tools near components, the risk for damage could occur. So again, if any part doesn't make sense or you don't feel comfortable, don't hesitate to seek the assistance of someone that has the additional skills or tools needed to perform the installation. Before we get started, let's go over what's included and what you will need to complete the installation. Inside the package, you will find the assembled handguard, an M-LOK accessory rail and hardware, thread locking compound. You can use the included hex key, or you can use a 5/32 bit and driver system as shown here. It is also recommended to have an inch-pound torque driver capable of tightening to 25 inch-pounds. Additionally, you'll need either a drill or hammer and starter punch to drive out the swivel rivet. A small block or 2x4 can also be helpful to stabilize the upper receiver. A set of tin snips or sturdy side cutters, a pair of pliers, a set of snap ring pliers to remove the snap ring. We're also going to demonstrate using a rotary tool with a cutoff wheel, and it is also recommended to have a couple of rags or shop towels to protect your upper receiver during the delta ring removal. While we are working with a stripped upper receiver, if you are working with a firearm, it is recommended at this time to verify that your work surface is clear of any ammunition or magazines and verify that the firearm is unloaded. Remove a magazine if one is present, lock the bolt back to the rear, and check the magwell, loading area, and chamber to verify that your firearm is unloaded. Now you can remove your upper receiver from your lower receiver as we have it in this state already. If your upper receiver has plastic handguards, you can remove them by pulling back on the spring-loaded delta ring assembly and removing the bottom half and the top half of the plastic handguards, so your upper receiver is in a configuration as shown. Before we cut the delta ring out of our upper receiver, it's important to note that we have to be cautious, because if we cut through the delta ring and we strike the barrel nut, we could cause damage to the barrel nut, which would require replacement. To protect your upper receiver during the cutoff of the delta ring, it is recommended to wrap it with your rags or shop towels. Wrapping it like this not only helps stabilize the upper receiver as you work, but also protects it in case you were to slip with the cutting wheel. That way you won't damage your upper receiver or barrel. Now we're ready to cut the delta ring off. Throw on some eye protection and grab your rotary tool with cutting wheel. Stabilize the upper receiver on your work surface so that you are able to maintain control of the upper receiver as well as the rotary tool. I like to stabilize my working hand on the work surface as well, and this allows me to control the rotary tool as I cut back and forth. Cut one side of the delta ring slowly, going back and forth with your rotary tool. Again, remember to cut slowly and check your work as you go. Once you cut through the first half, we're going to rotate the upper receiver to the other side and then cut another slot on the delta ring assembly on the other side of the upper receiver. Again, go back and forth, slowly cutting down through the delta ring assembly, checking your progress to make sure you do not cut into the barrel nut or risk damaging your upper receiver or barrel. Now that we have the delta ring cut, let it cool because it might be hot. With the delta ring assembly cut, we can now remove it. We simply take apart the two halves and remove it from the upper receiver. Now, using your pliers, you can remove the spring. Now you can use your snap ring pliers to remove the snap ring from the barrel nut. Once you get the snap ring out of the groove, you can also use your pliers to manipulate the snap ring so it comes off of the barrel assembly. Just go slow and be careful not to scratch your barrel. Now we either have to drill or punch out the rivet that secures the swivel. This can be done using a small punch like a starter punch or a drill. We now need to remove the handguard cap. This can either be done by removing the front sight post, or we can cut it with our tin snips and then remove it with pliers. Now we're ready to begin installation by removing the screws on the bottom of the handguard and separating into the upper and lower half. To separate the handguard into the two pieces, we need to remove the screws on the bottom of the handguard. If you're using one of the extended models, you'll notice that it has an extra 2 set of screws towards the front of the handguard, whereas the other models have 6. 2 here and 4 here towards the barrel nut. If it doesn't separate, make sure that you've double checked that these forward 2 set of screws on the longer handguards are removed. Once you have the screws removed, you can separate the handguard into the 2 pieces by lifting the bottom piece off. Set this aside. Now place the top section of the handguard. You'll note that it's the top section because it has the 3 sides, the top Picatinny rail and the 2 M-LOK sides. Place the handguard on your work surface and place the upper receiver into the handguard. You can then lift up so that groove will align with the barrel nut and go into place. Now take the lower section of the handguard and align it in the upper section of the handguard, compressing the 2 together. Verify that the 2 pieces of the handguard are aligned and the upper is aligned to the upper receiver. Now you can apply a small amount of the provided thread locker on each of the screws. Let the thread locker air dry for approximately 10 minutes before installing the screws. Once all of the screws are installed, just begin to snug each of the screws evenly. We do not want to apply our final torque yet. Once all of the screws are snug, verify that the rail on the upper receiver is in alignment with the rail on the handguard. Now with my torque driver set to 25 inch-pounds, I can begin to apply my final torque. Once you've applied your final torque, installation of the 2-piece extended M-LOK handguard is now complete. Again, if any part of the instructions don't make sense to you or you don't feel comfortable performing the installation, don't hesitate to seek the assistance of a qualified gunsmith or armorer to assist you. If you have any questions, you can also contact the technical support team at Midwest Industries. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.